Hey people, Injured here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Khatrin, Purification Plant and Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines. For the blue Space Marine team, we have Katla as a Techmarine. Starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. This is the Black Templars elite scheme recolored alongside. Taneli is an Apothecary, support hero that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Rounding off this team then is DoubleCheckUrOrders as a Force Commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also disrupt and support. We have the Taurens. Cool scheme, I think. Red team for the Chaos fellas, 2 Plague Champions. First up is Omega, and we have Yazoul, Samaiel. These guys start off with a damage over time bolt gun in ranged combat but can get melee weapons with strong utility and support. Are they using the same scheme? Thousand Suns, looks like it. The elite scheme as well with the hoods and stuff. And rounding off the teams here, MammothmkII is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. This is the Word Bearers elite scheme, I think. Yes. Kicking off on the east side, Doom Bolts flying into the scouts. They already have their shotguns up before the first encounter is even kicked off. Shotgun blast on those CSM. Here comes some heretics. Those guys idle back there should be joining in. I say flood the Space Marines with heretics early on, then back it up with maybe raptors to counter devastators and stuff, or some good old noise marines. Force Commander smacking on some CSM here. He's got that 40 DPS chainsaw that will do some work for you. These tactical marines are quite low on the west side. Scouts are capping. Not sure what's going on mid. Looks like CSM are pushing through. Heretics ran away with 5 models. Apothecary backed off. And Force Commander's got his Iron Halo up, which is annoying for the Chaos fellas. Now it's down. Plague Champion runs away. Those guys doom blasting a stationary Force Commander there, which is a big waste of a heretic. Unless you're specifically trying to suppress that guy and limit his movement, you don't really want to doom blast. It's not efficient. Just let the heretic stand up and smack him a bit. Double CSM in the mid from Yazoul, I'm gonna say, and Havoc's up already. Double CSM also for Omega on the west side. East side, Mammoth with the 2 heretics as we saw. DoubleCheckUrOrders with Devastators on the way. There's the Kraken Bolts and a Shotgun Blast. These CSM already have the Eternal War up. They need to get back into cover though. There we go. So it's a mix of cover here. I'm not sure exactly how the game accounts for that. This like barbed wire stuff is light cover. The sandbags are heavy cover. I'm not sure if it's like a per model basis. Some Nurgle worship, of course. Some health regen to the Plague Champions units. Now big massive stuff in the mid. Yazoul needs to push up a bit here. Bit more aggressiveness. I mean, Plague Champion is really good at holding a defensive position, but maybe a little bit too defensive there. Could have doubled one of the sides maybe. Devastators are being suppressed by Havocs. Function much the same way. I think Havocs are better at suppressing stuff. Not sure if Devastators maybe do a bit more damage to compensate. They dropped a model there and Heretics get a flank. Well played. Yazoul gonna wipe him out, I think. Maybe. Oh, Shotgun Blast might have saved them. Damage over time for the Plague Champion is enough to get it done. Tried to save them. Apothecary there with a customized Storm Bolter and Assault Squad now for Taneli. Tactical Marine Squad barely getting away without a model loss. West side is still blue. This is now Omega pushing through. 2-to-1 cap for the Space Marine team. Extra scouts for Katla. Looks like they both have shotguns. And double Devastators for DoubleCheckUrOrders. Oh, down goes the Force Commander there. Plague Champion getting the Mucus Discharge for Yazoul. Devastators using the Advanced Targeting Vengeance rounds, which is really painful. See those guys backing off. That was a Breath of Nurgle heal. Apothecary joins the fight, but joins it out of cover. Does reach some cover here, but gets suppressed. Oh, used his heal to revive the Force Commander, who throws the shield up immediately, but might just go down again. Gets the power sword out. Makes his battle cry better. And gives him a power melee weapon, of course. Those Havocs lucky to get away with 2 models, and Assault Squad change the fight and force off a bunch of stuff. This was Yazoul and Omega in there. Meanwhile, east side, I don't think the powers have been touched. A late build there. Don't think they have. Scouts have got forward from Katla and are decapping stuff. The Techmarine has the master crafted bolter here. Raptors on the way now for Omega. Raptors are already up for MammothmkII. These guys jump into you and suppress you when they land, unlike Assault Squad that knock you over when they land, which I think is generally better. I mean, I think the suppression is better if you're jumping into a massive group, because that suppression aura is quite large. You can suppress like 3 or 4 units. But the knockdown is really good because you might force like a panic retreat, and then you're getting a bunch of retreat melee hits in. That was a little bit sloppy there from Yazoul, keeping the double CSM and the Plague Champion in the same location. I mean, it's good for the heal, but bad for Assault Squad jumping on it, as you saw there. Knocked down everything. That was a Breath of Noble heal. The CSM are getting low, really low. Lucky to have 3 models. I don't think they were in the heal radius. Assault Squad do drop a model. Aspiring Champion Heretics can really do a job for you against Assault Squad in Tier 1. That fight really changes in Tier 2 though. Once they get the Merciless Strike from the Sergeant, they can mess Heretics up pretty badly. Apothecary almost goes down. Yazoul could push forward. I don't think the VP got decapped. I don't think it's been retaken. 1-to-1 here. Oh, they got the Apothecary. The Raptors of Omega coming in from the west side. And Plague Champion takes the west, so they're going to get the 2-to-1 for the first time. Some Tzeentch worship on the east side, providing that infiltration. And they're shooting up a node and pushing on, it seems. Looks like. Maybe, yeah, I guess they have what it takes to push on the power here. There's a bunch of shotguns, there's grenades, and there is the Master Crafted Bolter. There's a lot of suppression. But I think you chuck the Raptors in there and get stuck in, and you can get a little bit of a power bash, maybe more of a power harass than a bash. Grenade on the Aspiring Champion there. Aspiring Champion is a die last model for the Heretics, so that damage would have been transferred to the other Heretic models. Force Commandos are already quite low in hit points. Raptors jumping on the Devastators gets rid of them quite quickly, and more Raptors jumping on these Devastators gets rid of them. Now Raptors have 30 DPS melee compared to 25 for the Assault Squad. Assault Squad have more hit points though. Some intrinsic balance there. Sergeant on the way for those guys. Grenade almost finished off. That Sorcerer was a nice idea. But look at that, Chaos hold the line. And they're on the power. With double CSM Eternal War. Force Commander went down again. Just went in way too low. Now I think they're going to get a full bash because you have 2 Plague Champions, 4 CSM squads. Where are the Havocs? Havocs are in the mid. Looks like Omega is this. Yeah, Omega is fighting off the Space Marines rather than bash. I don't think they are going to get a full bash. Space Marines came back out pretty fast. Assault Squad jump on the Raptors. Sorry, on the Havocs. Heretics do not counter-initiate. They go after the Apothecary who goes down. They should have turned and Doom Blasted the Assault Squad. Havocs would have got away a bit safer. That's a good grenade. A little bit sloppy here, Chaos. Taking damage now from the twin-linked heavy bolter of the Razorback. Can he finish off the CSM? Can you guys jump again? They're going for it. Might have been a bit late on the jump there. Smack, smack, smack. No. If the Sergeant got a hit there, maybe that would have been enough. Because he got that power sword. He's in there somewhere. There he is. You can see his sword. All shiny-like. So they rebuffed the Chaos occupation of the power, let's say. That wreck point was decapped. Apothecary's retaken it. Bashing that contested power a bit. Katla's pushed up the east side. She's gone for Plasma Gun Tactical Marines with a Sergeant. So they are pumping out some serious damage against the CSM. But we have a Dreadnought over here from Mammoth. And since it's a Sorcerer, we might see the Mark of Khorne. The full-on melee Dreadnought that can be teleported around by the Sorcerer. Really Powerful synergy there. Plague Champions level 2 for Omega, but no war gear yet. We got a Librarian for double check your orders. He can help support these Devastators, as you can see, giving them the Veil of Time for increased movement speed and negates their need to set up their weapons, which is a big deal. Getting a decent job bashing here. Got the node, got a gen. And they get it all, maybe. Here's another Chaos Dreadnought, this time from Alpha Omega. And we have the Mark of Tzeentch for a missile launcher going after that Razorback. Now turns his attention to the Force Commander with the big old 73 heavy melee DPS claw thing. Does that have a technical term in the lore? A close combat weapon that looks like that. I think it's just called a Dreadnought close combat weapon or something in the tabletop. Sorcerer gets a decap on the Space Marines natural, but something is on the Chaos natural right now. We have a Space Marine Dreadnought from Katla. So the Techmarine does have some good vehicle support with Blessings the Omnissiah for the global repair, and also the Techmarine himself can repair. Signum armor on the way. We got Plasma Cannon on the way. Nope, cancelled by Katla. What was this? What got the decap? Was it Scouts? No, it was an Assault Squad from Taneli. Razorback is still up, but doesn't have the reinforced plating or extra armor or whatever they call it. Got some Mark of Tzeentch CSM for Yazoul. Any other marks for our CSM buddies? Yep, Mark of Tzeentch also for MammothmkII. Dreadnought with a Frenzied Barrage which suppressed the Librarian. We have a Nurgle Shrine that'll periodically heal nearby allied infantry and also suppress enemies if they get too close to it. If you worship it, you can reinforce off it, which is really handy for Chaos. They don't have a support vehicle to reinforce off. Dreadnought is in big trouble there. Tried to face tank Vengeance rounds Devastators at close range. Did not work out. 405 to 268, 2 to 1 for Space Marines. Here's the Mark of Khorne Dreadnought from Mammoth though. Thing is pretty scary in close combat. Blood Rage makes it pretty formidable in a 1v1 fight, but you lose control of the Dreadnought. Raptors jumping into the back lines. Their aspiring champion gets a heavy melee Demon Maul, which is pretty awesome. One of the more painful looking weapons in the game. Look at that, gets the kill, rear armor hit on the Razorback. Well done, fellas. They are going to be jumped. And if they get a good Merciless Strike, the Assault Squad win it. That was the Demonic Fury or Demonic Strength or whatever it's called from the Raptors. I always forget what that's called. Kind of the opposite of the Merciless Strike. It's a single target, big chunk of damage rather than AoE knockback. Still knocks you flying though. Good for assassinating heroes and stuff. Bloodletters teleporting out there from Yazoul. Meanwhile, east side is kicking off. Tactical Marines with Plasma Gun drop a model, but they get away okay. Dreadnought should be fine to kind of stomp away here. Yeah, the Raptors don't even want to fight that guy because he's the default melee Dreadnought with melee resistance and stuff. Raptors, can they finish off the Scouts? They can, with pistols. Sorcerer is ready to teleport after them if needed with Vestments of the Warp. West side is turning blue. There's the Force Barrier again from the Librarian from his 4 staff. Much better now in Elite, now that it's fire and forget. These guys being suppressed by the Devastators. Librarian went sprinting and that first attack didn't seem to do damage. Not sure what's up with that. So many times in this game I'll see a melee animation and no damage. Not sure what's going on. Do melee attacks have some intrinsic accuracy that I don't know about? But it's just really high so they usually hit kind of thing. Often see it with the Wraith Lord actually, I've noticed. He'll swing that big old sword and nothing happens. Looks like Chaos has seen them off in the mid. Now we might see Yazoul kind of collapse onto the western edge. Get rid of the devs. They've got some Bloodletters there. Bloodletters are demon units, so they can't be suppressed. And they have some crazy power melee damage of those Hellblades can teleport on you, do all sorts of bad things to Devastators, that's for sure. If you thought Raptors were scary, 333 to 250, and there's a triple cap for Chaos. Well done to Mammoth for getting on that VP there. Now a melter gun for Katla's Techmarine. Doom bolts onto those tactical marines. Are the little mini doom bolts there. He might go down. Gonna Dreadnought catch him. Just burned him to death. Well, burned him to lay down and start twitching. Blue team taking their VP back for the 2-1, which is a much slower rot of your VPs. They're grabbing those 2 rec points, which can make a big difference over the course of the game. Because they're very slightly natural, I suppose, but basically both contested rec points over there. Touch of Nurgle on these heretics. Kind of messed it up by not using the Doom Blast earlier. Did force a big retreat though, which might help them get back onto the VP right now. Uh-oh, Raptors go down. Messed up by the Force Commander and the Librarian in melee maybe, as well as the Devastators, of course, shooting them up. It's a big loss. Those were Yazoul's Raptors, I believe. Yep. Force Commander getting stuck in again, gone for the Artificer armor. What was that? Oh, that's Pestilent Strike. From the Plague Champion at some point. Giving big range damage reductions. Also applies to enemy units though, so you've got to be careful where you use it. You do get that stun off it, and you can make your own army really tough to range damage if you use it and then kind of run in afterwards. Armor of Pestilence too. Tier 3 for all 3 Chaos players, now that Omega's just gone. And plenty of red around. 600 for double check your orders. Meanwhile, west side. Smite goes off. Devastator's died to Marco Tzeentch CSM. And here's your Predator tank. Now they need to combat this. I was wondering if Omega was going to stop the tier 3 and get some Plague Marines or some Havocs or something to fight this tank, but looks like they are determined to go tier 3. What is this? Oh, it's another tank fighting some Raptors, and luckily it killed the Aspiring Champion. These guys can't do much against it. Dreadnought takes down the enemy Dreadnought, I think. Yep. And it just walked through the ruin of it. Ouch. Oh boy. Mammoth just had a bad engagement, yeah. That might cause a collapse on this side because Katla can push through, get a full power bash. Although, oh man, it was already blue. His power's already blue. 202 to 237. Assault Terminators on the field for double check your orders is not looking good for the Chaos team here. Really bad start to tier 3. And now they've got 2 tanks to deal with, and Assault Terminators, and a Land Raider Redeemer on the way. If Chaos Space Marines can pull this out now, it's a small little chaotic miracle. Bloodletters find a tank. Not the best place for them. There's marked target, and they got absolutely decimated there. And look at that Mercenary Strike on the Heretics. Space Marine starting to power through, and there's the triple cap. Plague Champion gets up and heals himself. Plasma Cannon will knock you down even if you have the Armor of Pestilence, since that's ability knockback, not weapon knockback. Are you guys going to decap the wreck point? I guess not. Gate of Infinity gets the Terminators back out of trouble. They do have double Mark of Tzeentch CSM and some Plague Marines. Oh, looks like they did cancel tier 3. Got some Plague Marines and then went tier 3 afterwards. Pouring that damage on the Assault Terminators who go for the Lightning Claws, and those guys all flee in terror. Those Lightning Claws will tear through them so fast. And now they're on the power. Double cap here for the Space Marines. Yeah, just a couple of engagements at exactly the wrong time that went really badly for Chaos. And they're really up against it now. Plasma Cannon. And another. Heretics having a bad day. When do they not have a bad day? Oh, Imperial Abyss from MammothmkII. Pretty good. Not bad at all. The teleporter relay beacon that was built by the Techmarine is also going to go down. The doom bolts that fly out of it, that's just a visual effect. Doesn't actually hit for any damage. Well, that's one way to get rid of Space Marines. Power here decapped. Lightning Claw Terminator is getting stuck in. Just absolutely tearing through the CSM as you'd expect. Plague Champion can't stand up to them either. Are these guys going to get claws? I guess not. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Plague Marines exploding? Who cares? We're Terminators. It's all over, I think. Triple cap is in. No way they can come back. They're too strong on each side. Was it long enough? Yes, it was long enough. Double check your orders. You made it. You're an injured cast. There it is. There's the game. Katla got a level 4 Techmarine. Swapped out the Mastercrafted Bolter at some point. And we have a level 5 Apothecary with Armor of the Apothecarian and improved medical equipment. Classic 3v3 build this. Get the advanced healing going, get the energy regen going, stay at range with this, and get a Land Raider. Force Commander's level 6. Went down a few times early on, but kind of powered through the end. Buffing the Terminators, of course, with his Battle Cry and stuff. Level 3 Plague Champion down for Omega, had that Plague Fist. Level 4 for Yazoul, also had a Plague Fist. Were you trying to decap at the end? And MammothmkII with level 3 Sorcerer had that really bad fight at the beginning of Tier 3, which kind of messed up his tempo permanently, which was unfortunate. It was a fun game though, good back and forth, especially like Tier 2 stuff. Thank you for watching, guys, and a big thanks to these players for taking part in the event, and for Impregnable for organising these games, and I'll see you next time.